When stuff is established, it's worthless to argue about it. We can argue over the little stuff, but it has been established that Andrew Luck is a franchise quarterback and really talented. Highest grade ever since John Elway out of college. Single-handedly took the worst roster in the league it was to the playoffs at 11-5 as a rookie. It's been established. He's really good. Now, he did go 3 weeks without practicing this year. His timing's off. He is still hurt, you can tell. And he's made a lot of bad throws trying to get the ball down the field quickly, probably because he doesn't trust his offensive line on a 13-play drive. But it's been established. He's great. Even Peyton Manning had a bad fourth year in Indy, 6-10. Why? Look it up. Sacked 29 times, still the most ever. You cannot overcome an awful offensive line and mediocre coaching in this league. Tom Brady last year against Kansas City was awful. Why? Offensive line. They fixed it. They won the Super Bowl. So it's one of these, it's been established. Luck ain't the issue here. Doesn't mean he always has great games. He's not the problem. He's the centerpiece. Build around him. And here's another example why I will defend him. Listen to this. From the very tied-in Bob Kravitz, who was on our show last week. Was this his Twitter account this morning you guys found for me? Okay. I mean, just listen to this and let it soak in. Hearing that while Chuck Pagano is not safe, it's highly unlikely the Colts will make a change this week. Okay. So we are officially on the clock for Chuck Pagano's firing. As I tweeted Sunday after talking to a source, you can lose games, you can't lose a team as a head coach. And if you're down 27-0 to the awful Saints at home, players, at least some of them, tuned you out. This story's also been unveiled. The owner, Irsay, and the GM, Ryan Grigson, had a heated conversation in the Colts locker room after the game. When you're wobbly, it just takes one punch in boxing or MMA. And the same goes for coaches. When you're wobbly, it takes one punch. And that special teams call against New England was the punch. Fox, this network, in the middle of the Saints-Colts game, this is Kurt Menefee, they dumped out of it. It was so non-competitive.
All right, that game's 27-0 in Indianapolis, so let's be honest. Unless you're a fantasy owner, a relative, or a Saints fan who doesn't live in New Orleans, you're bored with that one, so we're going to get you to a more competitive contest.
I mean, come on, folks. It's over. Say it out loud. You're banging on Andrew Luck, and you've got an erratic owner, dysfunction between the GM and owner, a head coach who may be fired in a week, and a locker room tuning out. And you're bailing on Andrew Luck. He is the only thing at this point you have that's at a high level. It is a mess. And I'm telling you, if Bob Kravitz is tweeting that guy is really tied in Indianapolis. If he is tweeting, he's not fired yet, but he's not safe. He's getting canned. And the person I talked to Sunday before I tweeted said, listen, when you watch a first half like that at home, that there is some momentum from that special teams call. I mean, Peter King is not a guy who brings the axe out on anybody. He didn't bring the anvil out. He doesn't do cheap shots. Peter King in our show last week said, that's as bad as I've seen. He's done. I mean, he's a bad guy. It's like I said about Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy's a bad guy. He has some leadership qualities, maybe. Chuck Pagano's a good guy. He may lack some certain leadership qualities. Who can explain leadership? I can't, certainly.